Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. If you're looking to buy a house, should you buy a house with a pool? Or if you already own a house, should you build a pool in your own house? All right ahead. You Have Real Estate.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or you're looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed for you. Think of it like taking multiple open house tours with me, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions throughout the show, I have people standing by right now, 407-205-0400. Plenty of information is also on the website, or you can contact me on the website, youhavepower.com. Before we begin, it's time for my opening statement. You know, one of the biggest questions that we get here at You Have Real Estate is always the pool versus no pool debate. While I really don't think there's a proper answer of do you get a pool or do you not get a pool, there's certainly some pros and cons that you need to think about before you either have a pool built or buy a house with a pool. Again, no right answer, but certainly pros and cons. Maybe even some cons that are hidden that you didn't think about. First, let's look at value, okay? So if you're going to buy a house in a neighborhood with a lot of other pools, I mean, your house is going to kind of stay with the same value. But what if you're looking in a neighborhood that doesn't have houses with a lot of pools? This could actually hurt you when you go to sell your home because your house is going to be priced higher than some of your neighbors. So maybe they're going to say, look, I'm going to go buy the house down the street for $250 as opposed to paying $300 for this house with a pool. So it really could hurt you on the value for resale as well if you're in a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of pools. So there are plenty of things to think about when you have the pool versus no pool debate. Let's look at some of the pros. I mean, I think one of the obvious ones is exercise. Now, while most of my friends, it seems, are hanging out with the Corona next to their pool, I guess that, you know, some people do swim laps, so it is good for exercise. And it just looks cool. It's relaxing. I mean, think about sitting in your living room, looking out the back windows, and you see the pool. It's relaxing. It's a mental thing, and there is a value associated with it being relaxing to you. Maybe also you don't go out to as many dinners. You think, hey, we're just going to have a barbecue at home tonight, and I think that saves money as opposed to going out to eat. So it's fun to hang out in the backyard. You have friends over, but I also think it can save money because you're going to stay home as opposed to going out to the restaurant and spending $200. And lastly, and probably the most important part of it, is kids love it. If you have kids, they are going to love having a pool. They're going to love having their friends over. And really, the pool is all about the kids. So I think those are the real main pros that I can think about when it comes to whether you're going to build a pool or buy a house with a pool. But the cons, I'm telling you, the cons list is longer. Upkeep, the monthly upkeep, the yearly upkeep. I have it at about $3,000 a year, really, because you've got to either have someone come by and do all the work, or you've got to go buy the chemicals and do it yourself. And look, not all of us are scientists. You know, we don't know how to pH balance ourselves. So most people are going to go hire someone to take care of the pool. The electricity bill every month is going to be higher. The insurance bill every month is going to be higher. One of my biggest fears, I have a 1-year-old kid at home. It's scary. I mean, you really need to make sure that you have that net around the pool when you have a 1-year-old. You know how active 1-year-olds are? I mean, they're into everything. At least mine is. My little Mila is into absolutely everything. So it is dangerous. It is scary being a parent and having a young child around a pool. There's also liability, right? You have a party. People are drinking. People get injured. There is liability involved with having a pool as well. And then also, you know, if something goes wrong with the pool, it is expensive to fix. If you've ever had a pool that had a major issue, you know that it is an expensive process to fix. So in conclusion, what I really think of is, do you have kids? I mean, do you have young kids especially? Because if you do, I think it's worth having a pool. If you're empty nesters, I really don't know that it's worth it. I mean, the decision is ultimately yours, but I really think before you go to decide you want to build a pool at your existing home or buy a home with a pool, you need to really go through the pros and cons before you do so. And that is my opening statement. Now we're joined by two very, very special guests. Now, I'm sorry to make the stage today seem so ugly because you guys make it seem so perfect, right? So I'm really sorry to do that to you. I have Jen King with Orlando Luxury Homes with me and Angela McCloskey of Keller Williams at the Park. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So, Jen, you just moved over to Orlando Luxury Homes. Great group over there. Sue and Lou, they're awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Great
definitely.
group to work with. What do you think about pools? Do I buy a house with a pool? Do I build a pool? Or do I stay away from it altogether? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that what you said about being an empty nester or having young kids is very true. If you have kids, most people do want pools, and it depends on the price range too. So if I'm trying to sell a home that's $400 and up, I think it definitely helps to have a pool. It's kind of difficult to sell a house over $400 without a pool. Since most people want them.
Really?
Yeah.
Good deal. What about the screens around the pools? Do people really want the screens, or do they want no screen? What are you finding out there?
I would say most people do want the screens, although I've recently worked with someone that was coming from South Florida, and she said that most people down there have open-air pools.
Really?
And I think that you kind of have to weigh it out, because the open-air pools get more sun and they tend to be warmer, but the enclosures kind of give you an outdoor living space where you don't get elements in, the bugs. You can enjoy, staying outdoors without, getting bit.
I know you're a Lake Mary girl. I'm scared to death of bears coming in my pool area. I mean, really, that's why I have a screen. We have gators and bears in my neighborhood. That makes me feel a little protected from the wildlife up in Lake Mary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer a screen just for keeping things out,
Jen King, the $1 million question is this. How is the market now? We've been hearing about, it's a seller's market. It's a seller's market. What's going on out there now?
I mean, I feel like, it is still a seller's market. Under 350, the market's very tight. As you get up into the higher ranges, you have a little more flexibility. The houses are sitting a little bit longer, but actually, even the luxury market is moving right now.
Really?
Even faster than it was a year ago.
So at what price point do you really consider luxury versus regular market? Is there a certain number that really separates the two?
I mean, just my opinion would be, maybe like 450, 500 and up.
And then how long do you see properties really sitting on the market right now in that range?
2 to 4 months.
Okay.
But I mean, some of them are going really quick. I mean, there was a home in Aliquot Lakes a couple of weeks ago that was $2 million and had multiple offers on it and went in a few days.
When you're working with a buyer who's going in and really trying to send in a lowball offer, so to speak, I mean, will you even do that? Is it worth doing it right now? A lot of people, they want to get a good deal. I get that. But it seems like these lowball offers really aren't getting people anywhere.
Well, I mean, I do what my clients ask me to, so if they really wanted me to, but I would advise them that sometimes it kind of creates a sour feeling between the buyer and the seller if it's too far off. You don't want to insult them.
Right.
And if it's a good house in a good condition and with a good price, you're not going to get a whole lot off of it.
When someone does put an offer in that's substantially low, too low, it's too low, do you find that the owner at sometimes will say, I'm not dealing with them anymore, I'm not even going to counter?
Absolutely.
So they won't even counter sometimes.
Yeah, and we encourage them to. I say, don't take it personally.
Right.
If you're on the buyer's side, you're going to try to get a good deal too. But we try to just collaborate, keep everybody moving towards the same goal.
We have a lot of great realtors out there, and I think sometimes the general public who are buying or selling a home get concerned with the 6% commission. They're like, wow, if you're selling a house for $300,000, that's what, $18,000, right? So first of all, the whole $18,000 isn't going to you as the listing agent, right?
No. I mean, we have to split it with our brokerage. We have a lot of marketing fees involved. We might have, do videos. We have to pay for a lot of advertising, especially, in the higher end luxury properties.
And not only that, what if there's a broker working for the buyer or an agent working for the buyer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
we're splitting. At best, we're getting 3 and 3, right? If there's an agent on both sides.
Yeah.
And then I think that a lot of people out there think that entire, let's say you're getting 3%, is just straight profit for you. I mean, you have expenses. You're running your own business, are you not?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's not all going to you. Now, I know you brought a couple of properties to show us today, and I looked at these before, too, and really awesome properties. I know you really focus on that Lake Mary, Longwood, Markham Woods sort of corridor up there, which is a great part of Seminole County for sure. So let's take a couple tours. You ready to go?
Sure.
All right. Show me Brackenhurst up in Lake Mary. Tell me about this house.
Okay, it's 1793 Brackenhurst Place in Lake Mary. It's located in the community of Carisbrook. It's a kind of a hidden gem at the end of Markham Woods Road. Quiet, gated community of only about 50 home sites on all acre lots. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,189 square foot, impeccably maintained, custom-built home on an acre. The gorgeous backyard feels like a park. Look at that.
Oh,
It's really
wow.
nice. It's a 2-story home with the master, secondary bedrooms, and office all on the first floor. The bonus and media room and the 4th bedroom guest suite are all on the second floor. The incredible pool area looks like a resort and has a $40,000 custom enclosure with columns. It's a great place to entertain.
Wow, look at that outdoor area.
Yeah.
Now I do want a pool for sure. But, a lot of times when you have a house with a pool, if you look at that one right there, it takes away your entire yard space. This one has a pool and like an awesome backyard too.
It does.
Which you don't see that a lot. What's the price point on this house?
It's $849,900.
Wow. Now, do you think if that house was in a neighborhood next door, like Alaqua Lakes, would it be more, or do you think that would be about the same price?
Oh, it would be more.
So,
Absolutely.
that's great. And it's a much smaller neighborhood than the Heathrow or Alaqua, right?
It is. It's pretty quiet and nice and close to a lot of amenities and recreational things.
And it seems like the houses aren't quite as close together either,
Yes.
Which
Yes.
I think is pretty huge. All right, awesome. If you have any questions about that house, you want to reach out to Jen King, 407-205-0400. We'll also post the house on the website, youhavepower.com. Now, we're just going to go right down the street, I believe. It's technically Longwood, but maybe a mile away from the first house. Let's go to Bermuda Grove. Tell me about this one.
Okay, this is 4086 Bermuda Grove Place in Longwood. It's located in the gorgeous guard-gated golf course community of Alaqua Lakes. This is a sprawling custom golf front dream home built by Dave Brewer. It's 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, and 2 half baths, and a 4-car garage. It's 5,800 square feet.
Wow.
Built in 2003. It was built for fun and entertainment. They actually had a couple of teenagers, and they have a putting green on the side of the house and an oversized sport court behind the pool. One wing even has a game room with a bar. There's an exercise room and a media room upstairs. The incredible pool has a stone waterfall and hot tub, and the huge lanai includes a summer kitchen. The asking price on this one is $1,299,900. Just under 1.3.
Is that all on one floor or no? Or it looks like most of it is.
Most of it's on one floor, and then there's a guest suite and a media room upstairs.
Do people like that? Do people like all the living area on one floor typically?
I would say that most people do. Although the lady from South Florida was telling me that a lot of people prefer upstairs bedrooms.
What do you think we do once the kids graduate with the basketball court? You know what I mean? Like, hey, honey, do you want to go out and shoot some hoops in the backyard?
Have a lot of parties.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, have some parties.
Knuckleball.
Yeah. Awesome house. Again, if you have questions, please reach out to Jen King, 407-205-0400. She is with Orlando Luxury Homes, and you're going to stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable, I hope, right?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back with you, Jen. Thanks
Okay.
so much for being here. Now, Angela McCloskey joins us as well. She's with Keller Williams at the Parks, and it's funny how I met Angela recently. We were actually shooting our new television commercials for the law firm, and the TV station rented a house to shoot them on, because we shoot all my TV spots on front porches, and we rented one of your listings from you to shoot it. I was like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So thank you. We're going to try to make that house famous. All right.
Just sold yesterday.
Oh, good. See, look, you can kick me a little commission if you want. That's okay. Let's go back to the pool thing with you. We talked a lot about pools earlier. Are pools good? Are they bad? Does it depend? What are your thoughts on pools?
So I personally have a pool. I like to watch my kids swim in it and relax by the pool. I think that it's really a lifestyle choice. I consider it, if people ask me about it before, if they're considering adding a pool, I usually try and, obviously be honest and say there's definitely a luxury tax associated with the pool. You might spend $50,000 adding a pool, and that's not even an over-the-top pool. But, at come resale, depending on how long you wait to sell your home, you're going to get somewhere between, 20, 25, 30,000 appraisal value on that home. So there's definitely, a cost associated with just the enjoyment of the pool.
So you think to install a pool, you're looking at an easy $50,000 typically?
I mean, basic pools like 40.
Right. Well,
yeah.
And have you seen any pools like 100, 150
Yes.
grand? I mean, it can get up to that expensive.
You can spend 300,000 easy if you really wanted to.
So let me guess. If I were to put in a pool, even if it's $50,000, and I spend the $50,000 cash, my house value is not going to go up $50,000.
No.
It's definitely not, is
No.
it? So it's really, if you just want that lifestyle, do it. But it's not necessarily the best investment. Consider it like buying a car, so to speak, because you're really not going to get the full value.
Correct.
What about outdoor kitchens? What do you think about outdoor kitchens?
Also a luxury item, as far as I would be concerned as far as resale at least. There's, if you want it to you do have to look, like you were saying, at the other homes in the area, whether or not they all have them or not. And then especially if not, it's a matter of enjoyment for you.
Right.
There's definitely a cost associated with that.
Let's say that you're my listing agent, and I'm looking to sell my home, of course, but I just put in this brand new Frigidaire refrigerator and washer and dryer. I'm like, there's no way I'm selling the house with that. How do we normally deal with appliances?
So you do have the option of taking those with you. You write it into the listing agreement, and it's disclosed up front that they're not staying. If they're, that along with other things, they can be replaced. I tell people, if there's something you could never part with for any amount of money, put it in storage and replace it with something else.
Right.
Before pictures.
Would you say that's kind of abnormal, though, to say that you're taking your refrigerator with you?
It depends. Some people are really, really picky.
Really?
If they drop 20 grand on a fridge, they're taking it with them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And how do buyers normally react to that?
No, I mean, I would advise them to replace it with something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you start showing the house or
Definitely.
after?
Yeah. For something like that.
Right.
Washers and dryers, that's probably about 50-50, maybe 40-60. And then, a lot of times my rule of thumb is don't give away something that you can negotiate away. So if you really want to take the washer and dryer with you, exclude it from the listing. And then at the end, when you get an offer that you're okay with, or maybe a little bit more, you can leave the washer and dryer and get yourself a brand new one later.
Right. I mean, does that become a negotiation tactic at the end sometimes? They're like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going up to 400, but if you leave the furniture or if you leave the appliances, I'll do it. Does that become a negotiation at the end?
It can.
Yeah.
It depends on the buyer and the seller.
How about
and
things
the
like
agents.
blinds, light fixtures? What are some other issues and other items that might stay with the house, might go?
So typically light fixtures stay. If it's especially anything that's electrical, that would typically stay. It can be excluded, but people may ask for it to be left in, and then it becomes a negotiation tool. Again, a third generation family chandelier, you're never going to part with, remove it.
Got it.
Before.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people can't fall in love with inanimate objects, but, maybe it's a family heirloom, but it's a refrigerator.
I've
Come on.
had people ask for pets before.
Yeah? A pet?
Yes.
It's absurd.
A Maine Coon
Don't you
cat.
think? Let's say that I am selling a house, okay? So I've already told them that I'm keeping the refrigerator, but maybe I know about some defects with my home. What are some of the things that I really do need to disclose and some things I don't need to disclose? You're going to pull the whole, hey, you're the lawyer, aren't
Well,
you?
I would refer them to you
Yeah, there you go.
and say you should consult with a real estate attorney.
Right.
I always, it's not federal law to complete the seller's disclosure, but I do try and explain to my sellers, especially, put yourself in the buyer's position. You want to know, for the best offer that you want to receive, they need to have as much peace of mind up front. So completing the seller's disclosure as complete as possible, as accurately as possible. And you can definitely be held liable later if it's proven that you lie on the seller's disclosure.
From the time that you get a contract in until closing, things can happen. You've seen closings blow up 1,000 times, I'm sure. What are some of the general things that you see happen that will make the contract not close?
Number one, I would say, is inspections. Either buyer's false sense of what should be expected up front, or maybe unknown seller, issues about the house, and then not being able to come to terms. Financing can play a part, but when I have a listing, I do the absolute best job I can up front when we receive an offer to talk to the buyer's lender and go through how far along they are qualified, and try and reduce the amount of uncertainty as much as possible.
Angela McCloskey, Keller Williams at the Parks. Are you ready to take us on a tour?
Yes, I am.
We're ready to see these properties. All right, let's start at East Preston. Where's this property?
Both of my listings are in College Park.
You're like the College Park wizard, it seems like.
College Park is awesome.
You have so many. What do you think about College Park? I mean, it is a really cool neighborhood, is it not?
I love College Park. I'm sorry, I'm going to be on the College
Please,
Park train.
go ahead.
I live in College Park.
Are you on like the welcome wagon for College Park
I
or
am.
something? Oh,
I
really?
am. Yeah, no, I'm not. But I think College Park is wonderful. It's a very small town feel.
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes from downtown Orlando.
Right.
It's awesome because You don't have to deal with the commutes. You can get to downtown 10 different ways if there's an accident.
Right.
You know, I just love it.
All right,
So-
East Preston, College Park. Tell me about this house.
Okay, this is 16 East Preston Street, 32804. It is close to I-4, actually, but not too close. It's a brand new construction, just completed in February of this year. It's ICF construction. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, just over 3,100 square feet. Lots of bells and whistles on this house. Very high-end quality of construction, all custom, handmade, all wood cabinetry throughout the house. Natural gas from the street for all the appliances and the fireplace. 10-foot ceilings downstairs. Engineered oak floors. Actually, it has a mudroom that most homes here don't have. But if you have multiple kids in sports, it's amazing. It's actually one of my favorite rooms because you can just dump all their stuff in there and close the door, and none of your guests see it. It's awesome.
It's good for kids, or if you live in Alaska.
Well, you know, or if you play a lot of golf.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, how is the I-4 construction affecting College Park, if at all?
I would say it only I-4 in general really only affects College Park when there's a major accident because we get more traffic through Edgewater.
I gotcha.
But it's, you know, there are the homes right along the road.
Right.
But I think over time it'll be better as they finish the high barrier walls. And you're still, you know, there is a trade-off. I mean, my listings are priced similarly to Jen's, and you get a lot less, except you're trading for convenience.
How would you compare, because College Park is considered downtownish for sure, no doubt about it. How would you compare price per square foot in a College Park type area versus like a Lake Mary, Heathrow area? Is it similar, would you say?
No.
No.
So these homes typically run, so like this home at 16 East Preston, it's 3,115 square feet. We just reduced the price. Asking price is $799. So, you know, you get a lot more space and square footage in Lake Mary and Sanford and Longwood, you know, but you don't
Gotcha.
have a 45-minute drive.
So it is a little bit more expensive per square foot to live in College Park than the suburbs like Lake Mary. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, that is East Preston. If you have questions for Angela McCloskey, 407-205-0400. Wait, yeah. They're going to call, and I'm going to hook them right up with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I promise. And we're also going to post it on our website, youhavepower.com. So Angela McCloskey. One more property, West Orlando.
Yes.
Tell me about this one.
This is a home. The address is 208 West Orlando Street. It is in College Park in the Princeton School District, which is very high desirability. So it's actually a 2.5-minute walk. I walked it myself just to make sure.
Yeah.
Very close to the...
Was it a run walk or like a regular walk?
Well, I do walk fast normally, but I was not running. I was not winded at the end.
I got you.
So it's very close to the College Park Community Center. It's right off of Princeton, close to I-4. So also very convenient location. It's a home that was built in 2007. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with an open loft upstairs. And then it also has an attached bonus room to the master, which could be perfect for a nursery, office, workout room. And the benefit, the great thing about this house is it is newer construction. In College Park, you get a lot of homes 1935, 1945. This home is newer construction, and the bedrooms are much larger than you normally find in College Park.
So someone just tore down a house in 2007 and built a brand new one, essentially, you think?
Well, this was a builder that they
Okay.
had. They basically had the city approve a lot split. So
I
these are
see.
smaller lots,
I got you.
and they fit a lot of homes.
Beautiful. Any questions for Angela McCloskey? You want to put an offer in on these properties? 407-205-0400. Thank you very much for being here. You're going to stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable, I hope, right?
I am.
And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Real Estate Roundtable. All right, this is where you have an opportunity to ask us questions. Go to the website, youhavepower.com. Send your message right there, and we might answer your question next week right here on You Have Real Estate. Let's go to David up in Lake Mary. I'm looking to buy a house that once had sinkhole damage. Ooh, should I buy it? Tough question. Sorry for the tough question, but
No
blame
problem.
David, not Justin Clark.
Well, I've actually had a few buyers that have looked at houses before with previous sinkhole damage, and you just want to do a lot of research, a lot of extra due diligence to try to look into it. As you know, if they properly fixed it, with engineers and proper stabilization underneath, you might be totally fine. The one thing to think about is that quite often the insurance is higher, considerably higher, when you purchase a property that has had prior sinkhole damage.
Yep.
So you just have to weigh it out.
Angela?
I would also advise them. So my recommendation would be actually to call their insurance agent or mine, who's awesome. I've talked to him about this matter before. And it is of his opinion that typically, like if they're done correctly, that they're more stable than some of the other homes around them that never had a sinkhole claim, and they have access to pull the reports and stuff.
I mean, maybe instead of just paying $400 for the inspection, though, maybe we need to do a little extra inspecting on the house.
Of
You know what I
course,
mean? I think
absolutely.
that would be the key. So if you're going to
Yes.
buy a sinkhole house, we're not saying no, but make sure you get an extra inspection done to really check the stability. Because
From
the
a
last thing you
licensed
want is this
engineer.
house sinking into the ground, I would think. You know,
Right.
it's pretty
Absolutely.
scary proposition. Jason in Orlando, I'm looking to start investing in real estate. Should I start by buying condos? Angela McCloskey.
I would say it might depend on the specific condo. There's a lot of pros and cons to condos. It depends on the price point, but usually with the HOA fees and sometimes risks associated with condos, it might not be the best option to start investing.
Jose and Kissimmee ask, are we going to have a market correction soon? Jen King.
Well, we've been hearing the whisperings for a couple of years, but really, I think it's just going to be kind of no, I don't think it's going to be a crash. I think it's going to just be a slowdown of the appreciation because we've had some high appreciation for the last couple of years.
Max in Oviedo says, what are some inexpensive repairs that will maximize the value in my home?
In general,
Yeah, like to sell.
Oh, to sell. I would definitely invest in minimal, nice landscaping. Curb appeal goes a long way in photos and first impressions. Possibly repainting and maybe doing some updates to the kitchen and baths.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
Oh yeah, that's flooring, paint. That's the most simple thing, and it can make the biggest difference.
Curb appeal
Absolutely.
and paint seem to be pretty important things, right? Because we eat with our eyes first, so to speak. So if they could drive by and they fall out of love with your house already, they're not going to buy your house. Angela McCloskey, Jen King, thank you so much for being with me today. Come join us anytime. And most importantly, thank you for joining us today. We're here every single Saturday, 12:30 p.m. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything we covered today, the phone number, 407-205-0400. The website, youhavepower.com. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you right back here next week for You Have Real Estate.
If you have a question you would like answered on an upcoming episode of You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark, call 407-205-0400.
Are you considering selling your home and would like to have it featured right here on our show? Or would you like to get pre-approved for a mortgage to buy your dream home? Give us a call, 407-205-0400. You Have Real Estate.